Hi everyone, I'm Sam and welcome back to my channel. It's about 6:30 on a Monday morning for me and I'm up early. My husband's taking Kirby for a walk so that I can get some writing done. So I thought I'd kick off a brand new writing vlog this morning. If you've watched my most recent vlog, you know that I recently made a big decision about Project Gilbert, the novel that I'm working on at the moment. If you haven't seen it, I'll leave a link to it in the description. But that big decision has really helped me overcome some writing block that I was feeling, and I'm really ready to move forward. I'm in that middle bit, which isn't really the middle, it's about 2/3 of the way through the story that gets really difficult. Every project I've ever worked on, this is about the time where people start to flag and they start to really struggle to understand how to progress, especially if they haven't plotted it out before. There's a few reasons for that. First of all, you've been working on the project for a long time, so it's a lot of times where you start to get a bit burnt out with the world or the characters or the story that you're working on. But also, there's the fact that at this point in the story, you're starting to get to the real heart of the internal conflict, especially when you're looking at a genre like romance. Yes, sometimes there are going to be big external things at play, but what you really need to do at this point is start to highlight that internal struggle and make sure that that tension between their wants and their needs is felt by the reader, but also by the character. If you're familiar with the romancing the beat structure, this is about the time of like doubt creeps in, and that's a really difficult thing to write. You know, you've got to write the everyone's super happy bit, which can be kind of boring to write sometimes. And then you've got to find ways to introduce doubt in a way that feels believable after the high that you've just established. Because of all of those issues, people can really struggle with pacing at this stage of the book. It can start to feel like it really drags, and you don't want to lose readers here. You want to make them feel still invested in what you're building towards. But sometimes it's hard to remember what you're building towards or understand how you're meant to build towards that. And there's a book that I recently read. It's actually about how to build outlines for your book. I'm going to review it in another video, but there is a really good chapter about pacing, talking about the idea of triangles throughout your book. Everything is creating these pinch points for your characters. You go through a pinch point and then things open up a bit and there's a bit more room and a bit more possibility, but you're slowly then being pushed towards the next pinch point. And this is how you establish pacing, and that's because the reader will look at that and they will feel that funneling in the same way that the character does. So every scene, every chapter, every section, and your book as a whole will have this sort of triangle structure. Now, at the beginning, your character's making so many decisions so quickly, some of them really big, that it can feel really easy to move from one pinch point to the next. But at this 2/3 point, this is where we're really starting to get to that main pinch point of the story. So you really have to be in touch with the wants and needs of your character and understand what it is that's going to drive them towards that climax that you're building to. In my last vlog, I did some of that motivational mapping, so I'm feeling a lot more prepared for this part of the book now, and in addition to the changes that I've made, I think I'm gonna really be able to move forward with that. So I'm kind of in that part of the story that's like everything is going really well and I'm just about to throw a wrench into things for my characters. My goal is to write for at least 2 hours this morning before work, so I kind of need to get started straight away. Over the next couple of days, what I really want to do is get to the point where my character is prepared emotionally and situationally for that climax. And by prepared, I mean from my perspective. Certainly not from her perspective. She will never be prepared for that. But making sure that things are set up nicely for that next pinch point. Getting through that dreaded middle bit is really difficult. If you can lock yourself away and force yourself to get some writing done, it's a lot easier to force yourself through that middle bit. So I'm gonna get to work. My goal for today is about 2,000 words. If I'm writing at a really good pace, that should be about 2 hours worth of writing for me, but if I'm really struggling through a section like I am right now, that may be up to like 4 or 5 hours. So I'm hoping I'll get through it in a couple of hours, but if it's just not flowing, then that's probably not gonna happen. So I'm gonna get started now, and we'll check in before I start my work day and see where I've gotten to. Well, that's it for me for this morning. It's time for me to go make breakfast and get ready for the work day. I did not get 2,000 words done. I got just under 1,000. I am still really slogging through this middle bit. I don't know why I find it so difficult to write people being happy. Don't know what that says about me. It is slow going, but we are getting there, and I'm still really enjoying writing in first person. I think it's making a big difference. So I'm gonna go get ready for the work day, and I'll see you back here this evening. Afternoon. I have finished the day job, and so it is time to get back to writing. Got my cup of tea, and I've got a sprint starting in a few minutes. So my goal is to hit that 2,000 word mark today. And I'm hoping that 2 sprints will be enough for that. That's about what I did earlier this morning. To be fair, if it comes as quickly as it did in the last vlog that I recorded, it might only take me 1 sprint, but based on how this morning went, I highly doubt that that's going to happen. But that's okay. I feel like 4 hours of writing for 2,000 words is still a really good output. So I'm gonna log on to the sprint and we'll get to work. I am doing new words, and I'm going to say my target because I never do that, but I absolutely must hit it. I need to have done 2,000 words by the end of the day. Thanks. Finished in 1. So excited. I actually ended up writing 2,193 words today. I basically was finishing off the bit where everyone's happy, and I'm starting to introduce that bit of doubt. And because of the motivation mapping that I did in the previous vlog that I recorded, I know exactly what her wants and needs are, to the point that I'm able to introduce doubt in a way that's really meaningful for her. And I've got a really lovely setting for this book as well, where I was able to play with weather to start to introduce that as well. So the weather sort of mirroring the turn in the relationship. So it all just has kind of worked out really nicely. I know that it's not the highest word count for a writing vlog, but I think it's been really productive, and I think this middle bit, it is really difficult to maintain those really high word counts, and that's okay. It's a marathon, not a sprint, writing a book. So I'm making really good progress. I've kind of crested that emotional hill, and now I'm able to start being super sadistic to my characters and making everything go wrong for them. That's what I'll be working on next time. Thank you for joining me on this writing vlog. It's been super productive, and I hope that you learned something as well. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. It means a lot that you have come to spend a little bit of time writing with me. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.